And here we go.
Here we go. All
We'll
right.
wait on everybody to show up, like we always do, and then we will start our lively discussion.
Live.
Our lively live discussion.
I love it.
In the meantime, cheers, Mo.
Oh,
cheers.
Cheers,
It's
guys.
Whiskey Wednesday.
It's like Taco Tuesday, only
Cheers,
a
everyone.
heck of a lot more fun.
Hey, Paula Wells. There's Paula.
Hi, Paula. How's your trip going?
All right, let's dive in here.
Hi, Auntie Ann.
I already saw we have a bunch of members that are with us. Sil Hunt, hello. I think that was earlier. I saw Paula on here. I saw Auntie Ann on here. Stay strong, safe, and positive. Thanks for tuning in, folks.
Southern Life Homestead in the house. You guys.
So it's been a while. We try to do one of these at least every month.
Yeah. Our goal is once
a
month. Yeah, it has. It's been at least a month. So miss chatting with you guys. We figured we'd, instead of doing our usual Wednesday video, we would do a live instead and actually talk with you guys and see what's going on. Hey, Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
I lost my live chat. Uh-oh. There we go.
Okay. Lauren, I feel like we haven't talked with you in a long time, so we're happy to see you here.
Where you been, Lauren?
I know, where you been?
Howdy-ho. Lots of hellos. All right, what are we talking about today?
Well, I don't know. What do people want to talk about? Oh, how's your little boy? Thank you for asking. He's,
We were going to get into that.
Yeah. So, Eli, our little guy, if you didn't see, you probably saw if you follow us on Facebook or Instagram, because it was so tragic to me. I had to share all his brave photos. But last night at about 9 o'clock, we heard just this blood-curdling scream from our oldest, or older son. He gets really concerned, and I just heard him just, Wah! And then Kira went running to see what happened, and she started screaming. So I thought, and I could hear Eli crying, so I knew he was hurt. And I thought that we were going to be walking into, my mind went compound fracture. Like I was expecting to see like a bone sticking out of a leg or something. But he comes running around the corner, and he has blood everywhere in his ear, is coming down his hands and his arms, down his neck. His shirt was soaked. So then I thought his skull's crushed, like a worst case scenario. And I got him all, we got him cleaned up. We wiped the blood to see like where is the blood coming from, because it was just everywhere. And it was a cut like on his eyebrow, but it goes up his forehead. I think they measured it at 2 inches at the emergency room. It's pretty.
It's maybe an inch. It's pretty tiny.
It was at least 4 inches. It's like a fishing story.
Melissa doesn't handle these situations too well. She actually had to walk away.
I cleaned him up first, and then after he was cleaned up, I got like an adrenaline dump or something. I don't know. I got like really queasy.
It was hard because our older son, Kamani, the way he was reacting, it just like Melissa said, it put the worst case scenario in your minds, because we didn't have a visual on them. They were in the tiny home. We were in the trailer, so we came running out, and I got to him first. But yeah, like she said, there was blood everywhere.
Yeah,
Fortunately, it wasn't that bad. He'll survive. He'll be okay.
He did fine.
So we took him into the ER
at
about 10 p.m. And we thought maybe they'd stitch him up, but they instead opted for the liquid stitch. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, liquid stitches.
So
they basically glued him back together.
Yeah, they glued it shut, and he did a great job. We were very surprised and proud of how brave you ordeal.
So. He did so great. I mean, it was the best ER too. They were so great, and we were the only ones there, small town. So we get there, and they got him right in, and they glued him, and he didn't even cry. He just laid there. He even said thank you to the doctors. He was so good.
And so now, ironically enough, he's going to have a scar over his right eyebrow. Our oldest boy, Kaimani, has the same scar over his eyebrow. And then when I was maybe a year old, I did the same thing. So I have a scar where I actually got stitches on my eyebrow.
Yeah, they have
So we're all matching now.
Yeah, so Jeremy really does look like Aquaman because he's got the eyebrow scar. Yeah. Jason Momoa has a mean scar. Yeah, except for Jeremy's like way taller and buffer.
Not even close. Smarter. Probably has more. I probably have more money. I mean, what else?
Definitely funnier.
Oh yeah, funnier.
Yeah. So yeah, Auntie Ann says that liquid stitch is a lot. It's less painful. Yeah, and then you don't get that railroad scarring, and they didn't have to do any kind of any shots or anything, which he was really concerned about. He cried all the way to the ER just because he was afraid to go in.
Yeah, it's holding up really well, and we actually have liquid stitches here that we keep in our in medical bag.
Farm first aid, I thought I could glue him, but then I thought I better not.
But you know what? It was good trial run in a way, because we are so far away. We're kind of far out of town, and so to get an idea about how this would look should anything really bad occur.
Right.
knock on wood. Hopefully that's never an
Yeah,
issue.
we were not even aware that the ER was open 24 hours a day. We thought for sure we would have to drive all the way to Sandpoint, and we didn't, and that was great. So now we know, and everyone was awesome. They were like, I didn't want to go with them. This is a small town. Like, what if they butcher it? And they were amazing.
So thanks for asking, guys. And how he did it was, so come to find out, they were in their bedroom and they were jumping. It sounds like he was jumping. We really don't have a clear idea about what happened because I don't know if everyone's fessing up or giving an accurate, detailed account of what occurred. But
the older boy seemed very guilty and upset.
It sounds like he was just kind of hopping on the bed and fell, and then he bounced his eyebrow off of the corner of the wooden bed frame.
Yeah.
Which isn't a real sharp corner, so.
Yeah, it's a pretty blunt corner, so that's why I went. It just kind of. It was gross.
We didn't stay up with him to see if he has a concussion. He didn't lose consciousness or anything like that. I just think he hit it. It doesn't even sound like he really hit it that hard.
Yeah, I think he
with the way Kamani described it, but I think he bumped it perfectly.
Yeah, just split it.
But thank you guys for asking. Thank you for your concern.
Yeah, thank you guys. Yep, and he for doing so good and not crying. He's gonna go out to ice cream tomorrow, so he's excited about that. Been asking everyone what flavors they want.
So how are we doing with the fires in the area? That's a question that came in from Ivy's Forge and Homestead.
So far, so good. About 3 or 4 days ago, we got some rain, and
yes, and it's raining right now.
Yeah, it's raining right now.
It's the first good rain we've gotten in quite a while.
Yeah, we couldn't even really go outside or anything for over a week. We couldn't see any mountains. It was just brown, orange air. It was really, really gross. Got us motivated and working on our tiny home though. But
yeah, it was probably like 10 days of smoke, right?
It was
bad smoke, thick.
Yeah,
I mean, like half-mile visibility.
Like
thick.
It was in your throat and you could taste it, and it made your eyes sting. It was really bad.
Worst wildfire smoke I've ever experienced in having spent a lot of time up here in the Pacific Northwest. It was bad.
It was, yeah. Yep, it was. So, any other questions?
Is Nevaeh going to be on America's Got Talent? Unbelievable talent in that girl.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, maybe.
We try not to push her. I don't know. Like, it's something we talk about a lot. We don't want to push her necessarily into pursuing her singing and her musical ability in like a Hollywood sense, or like trying to get with the record industry and all that. It's a very corrupt and dirty industry. It's not something we necessarily want for her. We just want her to love to enjoy doing music and be passionate about it, and to showcase her talents for whoever is willing to listen. And so that's why she does the YouTube thing. Not that she's very consistent with that. We're trying to push her and encourage her to be more consistent with it, but she's 14 years old.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Stay strong and safe. Wants to know why we are in the camper.
And why are we in the camper? You're going to have to stay tuned. There have been some changes, and we have a video coming out hopefully tomorrow.
I think tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow there should be a video out. So
we've had a couple hang-ups with that. We don't. Yeah. But there's been some changes, and we're in the camper for now.
We are.
Just for now.
Hi, Cold Beer Ranch. I see they are here.
Hey, Cold Beer.
Nice to see you. Are you drinking cold beer? Yep. Yep. Or not. We're drinking whiskey. We had a hard day yesterday.
Good to know he's doing good. Yeah. My middle son has 5 stitches in his thumb from a box cutter. Nasty.
Ow. Oh, that gave me
the heebies.
The heebies.
So what is it? Why is it that you got so wigged out by everything?
I don't know. I think it just because Eli's my baby. He's 5, but he's still my baby. He's my youngest, and I don't like when any of my kids get hurt, but like when it's like your youngest little one, I don't know. It's
definitely different when it's your kid.
It is.
I mean, I've seen a bunch of people that have been beat up, stabbed, and shot, and killed even. But yeah, it's not the same when it's your child, obviously.
Somebody asked a question.
Which one?
Yeah, it was a super chat. There you go.
From Snowman, $2 super chat saying, "Did you finish your master bedroom?" You're gonna have to stay tuned to find out.
Stay tuned till hopefully tomorrow when our video comes out.
No, obviously we weren't that far, so
yeah,
you can make your own safe assumptions about that. But yeah,
that's why Jeremy's smiling.
No, it's you'll see. We don't want to spoil it.
Yes.
I feel like we're doing a really poor job of trying to be discreet about the fact that things have been progressing as far as the master bedroom goes.
Pendleton drink here. Hey, that's what we're drinking.
Yeah, that's what we're having too.
Pendleton whiskey.
That's our go-to.
It is the best.
Yeah, we love Pendleton.
Yep.
Made right here in the Pacific Northwest, and it's delicious.
It is. It's a very good whiskey.
Any gardening yet? I saw that question pop up.
No.
No.
Next year for sure. We're going to start early.
We got a $2 super chat from Kelly Farrell. Hi, Kelly, saying
Hi,
sending
Kelly.
blessings your way as always. Thank
Aw,
you.
thanks,
Thank you
Kelly.
so
Appreciate
much.
that.
Did you get your hat, by the way?
Yeah, she did.
Did she? Okay.
Yep.
I forget. We discussed that last time we were on here. There's so many moving parts.
No, but I've talked to her through private message
Okay,
and everything.
good. I'm glad.
Yes.
We got Steve Morgan saying we need videos 5 times a week, please. Can we make that happen, Melissa?
No way.
Not. We get videos out every 4 days. Is kind of the schedule that we maintain roughly,
Yeah,
and that's tough to do.
We would love to put out a video every day, or 5 a week. That would be amazing. But I don't think we'd get any work done. We're having a hard time just working, and then with the kids, and then I homeschool also, so we don't even, now that school started, we don't even get started building until like noon or 1 o'clock, and now it's getting dark earlier, so it's kind of compressed our work day down a little bit, but school has to come first for the kids. So
yeah, we've got a lot going on outside of YouTube, and we try not to, for us, we try not to just showcase day-to-day stuff. I know there are some folks that would probably like to see that, but we're trying to maintain a specific storyline, and with the types of projects that we do, just trying to get those projects done usually takes us a couple days. Trying to capture that and record it and video everything takes a lot of time, and then the editing process for us.
I'm trying to get better at editing.
Yeah, we try to we devote a lot of time to editing.
Yeah.
Probably a ridiculous amount of time. I mean,
too much time.
It's almost embarrassing to admit how much time we put into editing these videos.
Because I'm very amateur when it comes to editing. So Jeremy does a lot of the intros and like the really beautiful artsy stuff's usually him. And I mean, Jeremy will do for a 5-minute intro. He'll spend like 2 hours or longer. Sometimes.
We spend a ridiculous amount of time editing.
And I spend probably 12 hours editing a video. It's like 4 hours of video that we can compress down into 20 minutes, 15 minutes. So it requires me watching all of it and then cutting out stuff and then going back and cutting and changing and editing it to music. It just takes a lot. So to do it every day, we would ignore it.
It would make for much different videos, and it would mean neglecting a lot of what is important to us just in our day-to-day life.
Yeah.
We're not vloggers per se, because we're not putting videos out consistently, just showing you the day-to-day activities that we're going through. And even Melissa and I have had discussions about, do we show this? There's a lot that we don't show, and that's because we kind of choose not to. Even with the kids, a lot of folks are like, hey, why don't we see more of the kids? It's a tough thing to do, to put your kids online and showcase them, and
yeah, if they want to be in videos, like Eli likes to hang out a lot, so you see a lot more of Eli because he's always hanging around with us and like rolling around, and he thinks it's fun to be in front of the camera. But like our older son Kaimani, he really kind of avoids the camera, and we're not going to go chasing after him and be like, hey, do this and this and this. We're just not going to do that to our kids. So if he wants to be in a video, he's absolutely welcome to be, but we're not going to push him to be.
Yeah, and some of the things we've talked about too were that, we're parents first before anything else, and we don't necessarily want to take moments, kind of like last night. Eli got hurt, and that's something that we probably could have put online, and a lot of people would have watched it and been concerned, but that's not what we're trying to do here. And we have these moments and these conversations with our kids that are very intimate and organic, and we want that to be real and genuine, and we want to maintain that. That's not something we want to intermingle with our YouTube.
Yeah, kind of like birthdays and holidays and stuff. We don't want to turn it into a filming thing. No. And
anyway, 5 videos a week would be a lot. That's the point we're trying to make here. Okay, let's get caught up on super chats. I apologize, guys.
Sorry, guys.
Rambling on here. So we got a $5 super chat from John Heffennecker. Thank you to the Arms Family Homestead for turning me on to you guys. Haven't missed an episode since, and thank you for your service. Well, thank you so much, John. We appreciate that.
We love
and
we
are incredibly grateful to Arms and Arms Family Homestead for helping you and us to make that connection. So big shout out to Arms and Arms Family and everything they do down there. We're big fans of them and everything they do. So big
great
thanks to
family.
Arms. Let's see. We got I lost it. Siri popped up. We got a $20 super chat from Chris.
Oh, thank you.
Please fill your tool belt with Tootsie Rolls. You can pick the flavor. Love the videos and your humor. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I fill my tool belt with pretty much any snack. I don't really discriminate. I don't like black licorice. I think that's pretty much the only thing I don't like.
We greatly appreciate the positive feedback. We don't always. So with editing our videos, and we're our own worst critics. Oftentimes we watch our videos, and what's our reaction to it?
Well, okay, so act really goofy a lot. Like we just like to laugh and act dumb, and we're always doing movie quotes and movie references just between us. And
There's
like,
times where we're not sure how that's going to come
singing and
across.
dancing, but like sometimes when we record it, we're like, this is so dumb. Like we don't want to put that on there. And of course, our 14-year-old's like, cringy, mom. Don't put that. That's cringy. That's her new thing. It's cringy. So we just put it up there anyway, usually. But so I don't know. Like we're glad that you guys think it's fun.
Yeah, we
we're
greatly appreciate the positive feedback. There's times where we kind of second guess ourselves with some of the things being included in videos, and then when people either laugh or say, "Hey, that's funny," you guys crack me up. We're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
There are other folks out there who get our humor. So.
There's so much drama in the world and on TV that we just would like you guys to smile and laugh and.
Yeah, and even for ourselves, everything we're doing can be very stressful and overwhelming at times. Yeah. So to have fun with it and act goofy is very helpful, I think, to
I think so, yeah.
Getting everything done and just the overall process. So we got another $10 super chat from Randy Fredrickson saying,
"Oh, thank you, Randy.
Big winter coming. Are you ready?"
Probably
not. We still have a lot to get done. We have begun with winter preps. Yes. There are certain jobs and tasks that I've been working on. Knowing that very soon we're going to be having freezing temperatures and some snow on the ground here.
Very soon,
yeah. We still have a lot to do though, and then we are working on some of the bigger aspects of our winter prep,
like running water
being one of them, and then obviously we have a lot to do with ensuring that we can maintain some kind of access in and out of this place. So
yes.
Stay tuned for that
we
as well.
have a very long driveway, 2/3 of a mile driveway, and it's only up to us. And it's gravel, and it's windy, and it's steep. So we need to figure that out for sure.
Yeah, I just picked up some driveway markers from Home Depot. I need to get those set in the driveway. And then, like
go off the edge?
Yeah. Well, I mean, for plowing and stuff like that, and winter time, it's a concern. So we have a big drop off on one side. My plan is to push everything off of that edge, but at the same time, I also don't want to drive myself.
Off the edge. Yeah, we have a lot to do, and we need to get the animals really squared away too for winter and their water so it's not freezing. I've been investigating different ways for the animals' water not to freeze. They make these rabbit bottles that are like you plug them in and they stay heated, and we're hoping that we have this little solar generator, and we're hoping that we can put that out there and run it if we have the panels up, but we're not sure with the cloud coverage that we're going to get out here in the fall if it's going to keep that going.
Yeah, we've been tinkering with that, and we've been talking with a local solar company.
Yeah.
To try to get something worked out here.
Because there's really no way to have heated rabbit water and sheep water if we can't figure out a way to get solar panels out to where our animals are.
It's a big challenge to try to anticipate everything that we're going to need to get through the winter comfortably. And
I think it's going to be a lot of adjusting. I don't think that we're going to be totally prepared going in. We're going to do what we can and try to go into it prepared. But I think there's going to be a moment where we're like, oh, we need this or we need that. And we're just going to have to adjust and adapt this year. This is our first year, so we don't really know yet.
So channel member, to go back for a second, channel member Richard Poole saying, fully support you keeping the children off screen.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks for that.
They're on screen. They are in our videos if they want to be.
We just try to be measured and reasonable about it and calculated and all that. Thanks for joining in, Simon Knight. We got a $25 super chat from Chris A saying, electricity.
Thank you.
Where are you currently getting it from? We get it a variety of ways. We have a number of generators that we've been utilizing.
Yeah, and we do list all those in our video description. So what's our biggest one?
So again, our plan is to go solar as our primary. We'll probably go grid tie as a backup, have a series of generators. People have brought up wind turbines. That's something we're not necessarily interested in doing.
Yeah, I don't know that it would work.
It's not reliable enough for us. And again, we think the solar would be the best route as far as going with a more self-sustaining option.
But I do not feel comfortable going 100% solar out here because we have so much cloud coverage. I just don't. Jeremy would go 100%. I just don't feel comfortable. I would like to be grid tied to where we can flip over if we need to.
And then propane is something we deal with, obviously, but we don't want to rely upon propane just for crap hit the fan type scenarios. We don't want to become reliant upon any types of fuels if possible.
Which is where the generators become a problem.
Yeah.
So
we have a couple of solar generators that we've been playing with, which have been great actually. Surprising results with those. They work really well.
They do.
And then a lot of folks have thrown out, because we have a year-round stream here, what is usually a year-round stream, the hydropower options. That's not something we're thinking about developing. And the reason I say we usually have a year-round stream is because we actually had a neighbor who is upstream from us do some excavating to expand his ponds and basically turn them into lakes, which stop the flow of water temporarily.
Yeah.
So until those lakes are topped off, we're not going to have that stream. So
Yeah, the stream stopped at the moment.
which is
and
the
has
first time
been.
that's ever happened.
Yeah, and it's kind of trickled up to different properties. People with ponds and stuff don't have them right now. So
Here's a good question from Bryce Fredrickson. Have any locals come up to you and told you they watch your channel?
yes.
Yes, many. It's become an interesting thing, and we really enjoy it, and kind of like we said earlier, we really appreciate it because the feedback that we get is, of course, always is very positive. Obviously, I don't think somebody would go out of their way to tell us that they hate us or hate our channel.
I don't know.
But it's become a very interesting thing because we are new to the area. Obviously, we haven't been here that long. We're coming up on the 6-month mark, but every time we now leave and go somewhere, we get a number of folks that actually come up to us and say, "Hey, hi there, I'm so and so. We watch you on YouTube, yada yada."
Yeah, mostly at the hardware store, Jeremy.
Especially at Home Depot.
Yeah, that's like his place. So I'll be like talking to him on the phone, and then he'll be like, "Oh, hey," and then start talking to someone else.
Yeah, but it's really cool. I met a couple people yesterday when I was out and about.
And we appreciate when people come up and say hi. So if you ever see us out and about, don't feel like you can't say hi to us. Like, we actually really appreciate it. We'll get messages like, "Oh, we saw you out, but we don't want to bother you." Like, you can always come say hi to us.
And it's always an interesting reaction because folks are. It's almost like there's been times where folks have been flustered, but we get flustered, honestly, because it's. I was explaining to the people I met yesterday is that we do this and we post the videos and we know that people are watching, but we don't. You don't put a face to it. And you don't always get that very personable feedback. You get little comments and remarks in there, but it's not the same as when somebody goes out of the way to shake your hand and have a conversation with you for 20 minutes. So it's really cool.
We actually just sold a kitten to somebody that watches, and so it was really neat to just meet them, and they got to buy one of our animals and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool, and now we can follow up with them.
It's one of my favorite things about doing this, honestly, is meeting folks and having these conversations that are very personal oftentimes. It's been really neat.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool.
A lot of folks saying a lot of positive things. Thank you guys once again, as usual. Let's see, I'm trying to get to a question here. Stand by 1 second. Marcia De Souza, we have another De Souza on here. Hi, Marcia. Hey. It's awesome for you to be real. Love it. Well, thank you, Cousin Marcia. We will refer to you as Cousin Marcia.
I missed that. There was a question. If you're living for life, if we live close to him, we do live pretty close to him. However, we have never met them.
Well, I don't know that we even live close to them. We're in the same county as them. Yeah, but we've never met them.
I saw him walking out of Super One, and same thing. I didn't want to bug him. So.
Yeah, I saw him in the parking lot. He was driving by.
Oh yeah, so we've seen them, but we haven't met them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but.
How many kids would you like to have? From Karen Hernkey.
Well, I would have like 12. Jerry wanted like 2, so we ended up with 4.
So when we got married, Melissa said that she wanted to have 4 kids. Ultimately, we had 2. Not when we got married. We eventually reached the point of having 2, and we were, at least I was very content with that. I'm like, this is great. We have 1 boy, 1 girl. Our son was born on Melissa's birthday. Our daughter was born on my birthday. And
he thought like, oh, this is the perfect little package.
Yeah, it felt very complete at the time, and then we kept going, and then we kept going, and then we ended up with 4, which is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a single child. Melissa was a bigger family, so
I was one of 4. I was a baby of 4, so 4 to me it just seemed like the normal family size. He was an only child with just his dad. So it was like 2 guys, quiet in the house. So our household is very loud compared to what Jeremy grew up with.
Yeah, right. Okay, some super chats here. We got a $25 Canadian super chat from Richard Poole saying, "Glad you're safe from fires and trusting the Lord for continued care as you build." Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Kelly Williams with a $20 super chat saying, "Thank you for your help with our future move to the area."
Oh, cool.
Oh, very cool.
You are welcome, Kelly. I hope it's going well.
You know who that is?
Yes.
Kelly Williams? Okay. Awesome. I'm not sure which client that is. You want to explain that since that's come up here? What is it you do so people can make sense of it? Sounds weird.
Well, I mean, I don't know that it's like a formal thing. So I do sell real estate. However, I'm not currently selling real estate in the state of Idaho. I was an active agent in Washington. But we moved, and I just don't feel like I know the area well enough to properly serve clients and help them. So as I'm learning the area, I actually partnered with another agent who I really trust. He's the best. I mean, the best. He's such a shark in this market, which you need because the properties are just flying out here. It's kind of the sanctuary. People are trying to flee to North Idaho, and So you're getting a lot of like-minded people, but they're coming out here and they're ready to buy now. They want to get out of wherever they're coming from. Usually California before November is a big one. And so I've just been helping people meet up with the right agent for them and somebody who's going to be like-minded. And this guy's a veteran and he's just an awesome guy, very homestead-minded. He knows all the microclimates in the area. And so if you are interested in moving out to North Idaho, email me or private message me on Facebook and I'll definitely take care of you.
How many folks have bought properties now that you've referred?
Let's see.
It's been
I think there's been seven,
yeah.
seven of our people, our subscribers that have bought properties out here, and I think that is so cool. And we've run into a few of them. Like you ran into one that just closed on their property at
I
Home
did,
Depot.
yeah, at Home Depot.
Yeah.
It's one of the folks that came up to me and said hi.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Very cool. Channel member Sil Hunt. Hi, Sil. Know Sil well.
Hi, Sil.
We are seriously thinking of getting a freeze dryer. What are your thoughts?
Oh man,
I'll leave that up to you to
I
answer.
would love to have a freeze dryer.
They're pretty pricey, yeah.
They're expensive. I would love to have one. It's kind of like a future goal. But if you can afford one, I would say get one. Like you can freeze dry everything.
Yeah, I think it's a good investment.
I saw someone freeze dry Skittles.
Sure.
So it took a Skittle and then but they were like, oh yeah, it's like intensified the flavor. And you guys know I love candy, so I thought that was cool.
All right, we got a $10 super chat from Single Dad Homesteading saying, buy the kids some ice cream.
Oh, thanks, Single Dad.
Thank you so much.
Well. And we will buy them some ice cream. We owe Eli ice cream for not crying at the
man,
ER.
I think I'm way behind again. Let me get caught up. Apologize. Grant Espinoza, $10 super chat saying, sounds like you guys need a tractor for winter.
Yes.
I'll be up there October 13th to work on our property right down the road. Your buddies at Anchor Down Homestead.
Wow, nice.
Cool.
Very cool. Yeah, we do. We need a tractor. We need to figure that out. There's really no way for us to get in and out of our property if we don't get a tractor. So, stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We're working on it.
Working on it. It's on the list.
Yeah,
Sil
says freeze-dried Skittles are the best. Interesting.
You've had them? I want to try a freeze-dried Skittle.
And then Thistle Moon, who's also a channel member, saying Roots and Refuge just got one. I haven't seen a video yet.
Oh, cool.
You knew somebody back in Oregon that had one that offered to have us come over and get some stuff freeze-dried,
they were
right?
freeze-drying meat and all kinds of stuff, which I think is so cool because, you know, even with canned food, it is more perishable. And the problem I'm having with canning food out here now is with our tiny home, I can't really fit it in there. So I used to can hundreds of jars every year, but if I put them out in the pole barn, they're going to freeze. So I'm trying to figure that out. We are building a utility room for our washer and dryer because I can't have the washer freezing. So he's going to be building a insulated utility room, and I thought I could maybe put a canning shelf in there. But I don't know. Then I'm packing more and more things into the utility.
Just put it back to the hutch.
The hutch is going to be our pantry.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, because we're 6
like
people,
everything
so
else.
we'll figure it out. But I've got to keep canning.
That was the hutch's sole purpose.
Yeah,
back in
it
Washington
held
State,
my
but you're right.
jars. Yeah, but then it's like, where do we put our other food?
I don't know. We'll sort it out.
Yeah.
We always do.
It's tricky to put 6 people and 6 people's things and everything, all your kitchen stuff, and like if you can and all that, anything that needs to go inside. And we have 100 square feet per person in there, and it's getting smaller
So,
like as we're moving stuff in.
Speaking of, Barbara Schultz is asking a very common question. Do we plan on adding extra bedrooms for kiddos? Not in the tiny home.
Not in the tiny home, yeah.
No, but again, this is a temporary living space while we work on building our main house, our actual eventual house.
Yeah.
In which case, we will have multiple bedrooms. But for the time being, no, they are all sharing a bedroom. And a lot of folks have asked us about that, I think, because out of concern.
Yeah.
Which, okay, that's fine. Our kids love being together. At our old house, they had 3 separate bedrooms that the 4 of them used. Every night, without fail, once Melissa and I would go to bed, they would all go into the middle bedroom and sleep together and stay together.
We're very not even we had bunk beds and they all slept on the same bed.
Mattress. Yeah.
like what are you guys
They're a very
doing?
close-knit group of kids. We homeschool. We're a very close family. Everything that happened last night, all the drama that, with our youngest son getting hurt, seeing their reactions, they all got very upset when Eli got hurt, and I think it was just a little traumatic because there was so much blood pouring out of his face.
But like once they found out he had to go to the hospital, and then he was scared about going to the hospital, then our 10-year-old son started crying because he was upset that his brother was scared.
I was very proud with their level of compassion and just their genuine care for their sibling. It was sweet to see. Because, obviously day to day, you get the little bickering and the little fights and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
deep down, moments like that reveal
Yeah.
the truth, which is that they care for each other tremendously. So as a
Yeah.
father and as a mom, we were very happy to see that. I actually teared up just seeing my
He did.
oldest son
The little one
crying.
was crying, then the older son started crying, then Jeremy started tearing up.
I
I
was
was
just
like, what
very
is going
I
on
was
with
very
the
proud of my
men?
youngest son for being so tough with everything going on. He's a little kid, he's 5, and then I was very proud of my older son for caring and being very protective.
Yeah.
I have a lot of one-on-one conversations with him about his kind of his role in the family with being the oldest
Yeah.
oldest male sibling, and
Yeah.
what that's gonna require of him, later in life. So I was very happy and proud of him just to see that.
Yeah, that was really nice. So, but yeah, I think even if our teenage daughter, she likes her own space, but at the same time, she always ended up in their room. So, and I think she still would. So she likes her space more during the day, but I don't think that they're really that comfortable sleeping alone because they never have. So they're fine. She got a full size bed up at the top, and she wants to like do this whole like tent thing around it so she can have her own little space up there. But during the day, the little kids don't go in there at all, and she's in there the whole day. That's where she does her school because she's doing algebra and all its stuff that she needs quiet for. So she's in there doing her homeschool, and then I have the little kids in the trailer homeschooling, and then eventually it'll be in the little living room area. So she does get her space, but when we build our actual house, they're not all sharing the same room. It'll be girls in one room and boys in one room. If Nevaeh even moves into the big house, she's kind of talking about staying in the tiny home and making that her space. And
Right.
then Kira would have her own room and the boys would share.
Which is part of the reason we're building the tiny home
Yeah.
how we are. A lot of folks, again, have been asking us questions about why are you spending so much time and why are you putting so much thought and care into the tiny house and getting it finished so nicely. It's because we want to make sure that we have that space available to our kids,
Yeah.
kind of as transitional housing down the road. Once they're 18, 20 years old, if they want to stay in the area, they have the option of living there and having some privacy and independence, but also not having to worry about making a rental payment and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
or just having guests over, we can use it as guest housing, and we want it to be nice and livable and comfortable. So
Yeah, but I think
the
it's
reason
going to
why.
end up being Nevaeh's house first, and so we want it to be nice for her, and so we do like she likes to help pick out some of the stuff, the flooring and everything, because she kind of views it as her future home.
And we might be there for a couple of years, so we want it to be comfortable for ourselves.
Yeah, we do.
We didn't want it to be.
So I've seen a couple
rough.
people ask if we can dig a root cellar out here, and we can.
Sure you
we
can.
it's just something that we don't have time for right now.
It's lower on the priority list.
Yeah,
But yeah, for your canning stuff, that's a great option.
yeah,
we've talked about doing that for a long time,
and
but it's
and we probably will eventually.
yeah, but
So.
that's after the house is built.
My snacks will freeze. I know.
A lot of folks, I think, came in late and they're asking if Eli's okay. Eli's okay. We had a incident last night where he bumped his head into their brand new bunk bed frame and he split his eyebrow open, and so he was bleeding all over the place. We had to take him into the emergency room to get glued up.
Yeah. So he's okay now.
But yeah, he's fine. Thank you for asking. Storm cellar?
No. See, that windstorm was really rare for out here, so we don't get hurricanes or tornadoes, or obviously we don't get hurricanes, but tornadoes and stuff are just not really
very rare.
Yeah, very, very rare. It's not like the folks in Oklahoma that really have to worry about them.
Monster snowstorms. Obviously, we had that windstorm here a couple weeks ago, but that's a rarity as well. I don't think that's something that would require a storm shelter per se. But yeah, as far as natural disasters go, we don't get a lot of earthquakes, stuff like that. That's part of the appeal with being in this area. There's another question that popped up here I wanted to address. I can't remember what it was.
Bigfoot Farmer asked a question.
Bigfoot Farmer?
Yeah. Well, yep. But I didn't see it. I just saw a good question.
Sorry, guys. I'm falling down again.
1 year later, Nevaeh, welcome to my barn dominium. Yes, Nevaeh actually has some really cool ideas for her own. She really likes coffee, even though she just is now allowed to drink it at age 14. So she's kind of been learning about all the different drinks, and she wants to build her own coffee stand on a trailer that she can tow to different locations. She thought that would be a really cool first business for a teenager, and then she could build it herself and maybe feature her build on her channel. And I think it's cool that she's thinking with that entrepreneurial mindset. So
okay, Bigfoot Farmer's question was, you guys able to go to church or do you worship from home?
We worship from home. So there's some really great churches out here, and our daughter is involved in the youth group out here, but we don't personally go to church in a building.
That's another big conversation. That's a conversation we've had with some of our neighbors. We're not opposed to church by any means. I think church and the establishment of a church is a great thing for a number of reasons. But for us personally, Again, this is a really big conversation.
I think
to
we
have.
just haven't found one where it just felt like it fit, and so we just
Yeah.
kind of gave up on it. We tried quite a few of them, and there was a lot of, oh well, your kids have to go to Sunday school, like they encourage the kids to go to Sunday school, and then it was a thing like during cold and flu season where they're getting sick at Sunday school because our kids are homeschooled, so they're like bubble children.
And Melissa's a total germaphobe.
I am a germaphobe.
Monster germaphobe.
So by Tuesday, they all had sore throats. By the time, and then we'd usually miss church the next week, and then I'd get them healthy again for 2 weeks later, and then by the next Tuesday, they'd have sore throats, and I'm like, this is crazy. Like, so
for all of the perks and benefits that come along with church, I guess the way I kind of view it for myself personally, this isn't me speaking for like our family, is just that I don't necessarily see a church as being a requirement. You don't necessarily need that intermediary third party to establish or maintain a relationship with God and vice versa. I like being outside. I like spending time, by myself, kind of worshiping on my own. It's kind of how I like to do things. How I personally prefer to do things.
yeah.
And again, I'm not opposed to church at all. I actually enjoy going to church. It's just not something that we've done on a regular basis for the reasons that Melissa mentioned
I have
a second ago.
kind of like my own personal church. So back in Washington, my church was totally my garden. Like if I felt overwhelmed and I needed to just go talk to God and like clear my mind, I would go out and I would pick peas. And I think there was something about being in the garden and touching the dirt and finding God and being able to
appreciating God's creation.
Yeah.
It's kind of the way we've always looked at it and treated it.
And I think it's like that's why God placed Adam and Eve in the garden, because that is where he reveals himself within his creation. So I have a hard time. I like going to church and I like the social aspect of it, but I don't find God there, which is weird. But I just don't personally find that connection. I like it and I enjoy it, but I do better on a hike or I don't know. I had this thing about the shower too. The shower was my church. It was the only place in the house. The shower. It was. I know I'm not the only person who finds church in their shower. So showers are wonderful. They're the only place for a mom who stays home with their kids. It is the only time in the day when you close the door and it's locked and you're in a space where you can't hear anything. I mean, sometimes they through the door and I can't hear you. And it was the only place where I could go and just be alone with my thoughts and with God and with prayer. The shower. And maybe even God thinks that's weird. I don't know. I don't think he cared. Anyway, I really miss my showers. So I'm really, really excited about getting indoor plumbing so that I can go find God in the shower again.
So someone's asking, what about fellowship with fellow believers?
Yeah, and I think that's great. And
that's one of the best parts of actually attending church.
That's the part that is fun about church.
Right.
And I think what our daughter likes about youth group. But we really have that with our neighbors. We have the most amazing neighbors out here. And it's the same kind of thing. So we get our fellowship that way, and we have these same conversations where we'll have barbecues and we'll get all deep in conversation, and it's kind of like a Bible study in its own. So with chicken.
All right, we got a $5 super chat from Alex Kolaskov saying, "Thanks for being an inspiration. I'm living close to Seattle now, but really looking into North Idaho one day." Well, thank you so much for the super chat, and thanks. I'm glad we could inspire you. Good luck on your journey. Good luck on, moving forward. It's a lot to take on, but we're very happy with how things have panned out for us. So good luck.
Adventure, yeah.
Not a good idea to talk about religion or politics. Just saying, from River Oaks Ranch. Sorry. Not sorry.
Yeah, we don't dive into the politics, but I don't feel like faith should ever be an off-limit topic, and it's not something that we've
brought this up before, and we don't cram it down anyone's throat. And I fully believe in your individual liberty in being able to make that decision for yourself. I would never go up to someone and say, "Hey, you should believe what I believe," and just like I would expect that of somebody else, I would hope that nobody would ever come up to me and say, "Hey, I disagree with you. You should believe how I believe." We don't cram it down anyone's throats.
Yeah.
We, at the same time, we're not willing to, we will always, we were not willing to compromise on that. We will always acknowledge our faith if asked, like we were a second ago.
Yeah.
We don't shy away from it at all.
Yeah.
Even when others kind of like that remark. We've had conversations with other YouTubers that have said, "Oh yeah, don't do that. Don't talk about your faith," and that's fine for them. Again, conduct yourself however you want. But for us, we're not going to do that here. And if anyone ever asks me to keep my mouth shut about my faith or God, I tell him to pound sand.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I would never want God to reject me, so I'm not going to reject him for the sake of popularity. It's just kind of the way it is. So.
Not what we do here.
Yeah. Sorry.
Got a $5 super chat from Angie Cordero saying, yes, Mother Nature's church. If you have Netflix, watch Kiss the Ground documentary. Cool, we'll do. And thank you for the super chat. Not familiar with that one.
No, we're always looking for something new to watch. Yeah.
Goo Hee saying, you guys did what most of us want to do.
Aww.
With making the move and make taking the leap and all that, I assume is what you mean.
Do it!
Do it. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people said we were crazy. Everybody said we were crazy, including our own family. I had family literally calling and pleading with me, like, don't do this. You guys are crazy. This is a disaster.
We are crazy.
We are a little crazy. We just basically said, like, I finally told Jeremy, when I'm 90 years old, I want to say our life was an adventure. And whether we go out there and we totally fall on our face and fail and we have to come climbing back or figure something else out, we will. I felt like it was a calculated risk. We're employable enough people. If we needed it, we could probably go out into town and say, hey,
need a job.
Can I work here?
Need work.
Like, it's not like we're just going to sit here and die. So if it came down to it, we could go out and we could get a job.
Correct.
So, but we wanted to try to do it the way that we wanted to try to make the dream work.
Yeah, we reached the point where we didn't want to live a life of regret. We didn't want to look back and say, man, we should have tried and we should have done something because we were only willing to play it safe. So
yeah,
it's worked out well thus far. We'll see long term how it goes, but we are loving life as it stands. Somebody was asking, and I apologize, I lost it, but I've seen a couple questions out about whether or not we've fired up the wood stove as of yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Haven't really had to yet.
Yeah, the mornings are getting chilly to where I definitely wrap myself in a blanket to have my coffee. But it heats up pretty quick.
Like, it does.
So
we've had 2 consecutive days of frost, but that was a couple weeks ago now, and since it's been pretty warm.
But I think that frost thing is going to start.
Yeah, for sure. It's been dipping consistently into the 40s at night now.
Yeah.
Like high 40s.
Oh, see you later, single Dad Homestead. Thank you for stopping by.
See ya.
Yeah, so yeah, it's been not so cold yet, but it's getting there, and
it's coming.
That's why we were like, we've got to get moved in the tiny home because we need to be able to fire up and manage the wood stove overnight and everything. Obviously, the kids can't be in there alone with a wood stove.
Not that we're necessarily in there yet.
Yeah, stay tuned. So, golly, Jeremy.
Come on, Melissa.
Bring it up.
All right, we've got a $5 super chat from Marlo Gets Fit. Thank you so much. There's no comment to go along with that, but thank you for the super chat.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's keep scanning. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to brush over anyone's comments here. We try to address as many as we can, but it's tough to do, especially when we ramble on about certain topics.
Sorry. When will it start getting cold? So we're actually pretty much at the first frost date for average North Idaho. It's late September. We've had 2 days where it's been kind of frosty in the morning, but nothing serious, not a deep frost yet. But it could be anytime. I'm guessing in the next couple of weeks we're going to start getting consistent frost.
Have we installed smoke detectors?
Yes.
I'm laughing because it's become a very hot button issue.
It has. A lot of people are like, you need smoke detectors. We have smoke detectors. Yes, we have smoke detectors, and we have multiple smoke detectors and CO2 detectors. We actually got them through our Simply Safe system. So it's all monitored, and we've got the little thing there. So if anything goes off, and they're super sensitive, they're in every room. We got it.
We got a $5 super chat from Kawi K saying, hi, I'm the Hawaiian staying in Preston, Idaho. I'd love to come up to North Idaho to meet you guys.
Oh, nice. Another
cool.
Hawaiian.
Another Hawaiian. We got, there's not a ton, but there's a decent amount of local people that live up here now.
Yeah.
I see them every now and again. In fact, Kawi, I saw a big moke guy driving around Bonner's Ferry, which kind of threw me off. But yeah, hey, if you're ever up here or in the area, let us know, and we'll see what we can work out.
When will we see the pump house up and running, Jeremy?
We are working on that. So the shed is completely built. We're having our pump guy actually install the majority of. He's installing pretty much the entire system.
He's hooking up we have really, really high
iron,
like so high. Like if you notice when we show the rabbits, if you notice their bottles look orange, it's because they're completely stained with iron. So you can scrub it out, whatever. Everything, like our clothes are all getting dingy looking and everything from doing laundry. So I tried to wash a white shirt and it came out tan. I mean, everything, the iron is so, our water is orange. So we're having this crazy water softener iron filter thing put in. And so he's helping us with that. But he's a really busy guy. So
There's already been some changes. We're waiting for him to come back.
yeah, we're waiting for him to come back.
It should be just another day and we should be up and running. Not that all of the plumbing is run in our tiny house yet. And I don't have a ton of experience doing that. So that's part of the reason it's been pushed off so long. So some of our PEX has been run. I've been doing a lot of research on how to finish all the projects. Obviously, we have two sinks, we have a shower, we need to hook up. And I just don't have a lot of experience with plumbing, admittedly. So it's going to take us a little bit of time to kind of wrap our heads around what it is we have to do, what it's going to require of us. And but we'll get it done. I'm confident we'll get it done. We'll have water up and running very soon. Yes. But the pump house is near completion at this point.
Yeah, so. It is. We're really close. So we definitely need to do all the PEX and all that inside, but we're learning as we go.
See, we got a new first level member.
Oh, welcome to our membership.
Luann Bossler, welcome.
Thanks, Luann.
Thank you for joining.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, we do have a membership. We don't do Patreon or anything like that because we didn't want to keep everything kind of in one place. So we do the YouTube membership, and if you're interested, there's 3 different levels, and it's just a way, like all the memberships on any of the channels are just a way to basically financially support your favorite YouTubers, and then there's little perks that go along with that. We share behind the scenes stuff, and we try to let our members name all our animals. We actually have 2 new breeding does that need naming, so those are going to be going up on the membership this week, so we can come up with some creative names for them, and just kind of some fun stuff, polls and things like that. So.
Any advice on renewing a kitchen, Melissa? That's from XX Phoenix Blaze.
You mean like renovating it, or?
I assume that's what they mean. Yeah. Not really.
No, we're not very good. No,
do the research is what I'd say. We don't.
Yeah.
I've never renovated a kitchen. I've never put in a kitchen. It's my first time doing a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, this is our first time actually putting in a kitchen.
Which is why we always try to emphasize we are not builders. Do not take advice from us. If anything, learn from our mistakes.
Not a how-to channel.
No, not at all. We're figuring this out as we go. I'm very upfront about the fact that hey, I'm literally figuring this out on the fly a lot of times. So I have a minimal amount of experience. I feel comfortable with certain things more so than others, but I said, kitchen, plumbing, stuff like that, I'm not very comfortable with. So stay tuned and see how we fare with all of that.
Do we plan on getting any horses? Oh, we have this conversation all the time.
Yes, Melissa loves horses.
Yes, I love horses. I grew up with them. And yes, we need to get horse fencing in. We need to get like some kind of a lean-to or something like that up. And then Jeremy better believe that I'm going to be on Craigslist finding every pony available. So, yeah. All
right, we got another super chat from cousin Marcia De Souza saying you might be a little crazy, but you're not stupid. Fire alarms, please. LOL, cousin.
Did I say fire alarm?
Thank you, Marcia.
I say fire alarm instead of smoke detector.
Smoke detectors is what you meant.
I know it's smoke detector, but I just say fire alarm. It's one of those ditzy things I say. I say really dumb things sometimes, but it's like, it's right in my head, but then I just say something wrong.
When the camera's pointed at you, you say a lot of dumb things that you don't originally intend to say.
What did you say to me?
We could make a hour-long compilation of outtakes of the ridiculous things that we say. No, both of us.
Yeah.
We've gotten better with time and practice, like anything else.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
How's the lumber shortage going?
Expensive. Lumber costs have not come down at all since we did that video.
No,
in fact, I think they've gone up even more.
So that is why our shed has no siding. We just have some priorities, and so we are going to get siding on the shed. Right now it's just wrapped, but with the siding that we wanted to do, it's just really, really expensive right now. I'm hoping it comes down.
Yeah, I think I priced it out. It'd be like $1,100 just to get siding up on the shed.
Pretty siding on a shed, like that's crazy.
So we might hold off on that.
When my washer is screwed together in the field right now.
We didn't want to do metal siding, but we're actually considering it just because of lumber costs. I think it might be cheaper just to. Oh, I know it will be cheaper to just go with the metal.
Yeah.
And have it match the barn. So we'll see.
Okay, so the lumber mill thing. Let's talk about the lumber mill thing, because a lot of people have said, just get a lumber mill. So from what we've heard and what we saw, there was another channel that did a lot of milling their own, and then they did like a timber framing, and then as the timbers dried after they were installed, because they were not kiln dried, because obviously even if we had a mill, we're not going to have a kiln. And without it drying for like 2 years or something is what it said, it's just going to twist and shrink. And now all of a sudden everything's wonky. So We could mill our own lumber, but it would set us back literally at least a year because we just couldn't dry it properly. And then you're going to get a bunch of pieces that are warped and don't dry properly. So that is why it's not. I think that you could make some really cool structures with it, but as far as trying to frame a stick straight structure, I don't see it as very feasible for a build that we need to start really soon. Yeah, I don't know.
Good explanation.
I don't know. So that was my thought on the lumber.
Patty S says, finally a homesteader who wants to get horses. I've watched so many and you're the
I
very first.
know it.
Thank you.
I know.
I'll definitely be watching for it.
So
we've talked about that.
Yeah, we're like, why doesn't anyone have horses?
Yeah, that's amazing to us with all the homesteading YouTube channels that there are that nobody really has horses or like has a places an emphasis on horses.
There's like donkeys, goats, the alpaca, the donkey poodle.
I think because horse people kind of have their own culture and group and niche, you know, and it's more just devoted to horses rather than everything.
But I mean, I don't know. So I want a horse that will be decent on a farm for myself, but it's really important that it's safe for the kids. So I like a wild horse, really. I mean, I grew up riding a very Greenbroke Arabian. That was my first horse when I was 10. He hadn't been ridden in 8 years. He was a stallion. And I just thought it was so fun. I have scars down my back from being thrown. I mean, that horse threw me. So it's amazing I'm alive. But I was like, woohoo! He goes so fast.
Okay, here's an important question from Mike Johnson. What's the deal with your snack belt? Do you always snack like that?
Yeah. What's it to you? No. no, I don't.
So here's the thing. Melissa eats very healthy. We all do, ordinarily. Especially when we have our garden up and running in full bloom.
Yeah, we're like 95% plant-based. We'll grill up 8 different vegetables for dinner.
But that has changed with everything we have going on here. So we eat, unfortunately, like I eat a lot of bars and stuff like that.
We don't eat very healthy right now,
and our garden isn't up and running yet.
Yeah, we have no garden food, so we're basically just eating, just like, we make a vegetable for dinner and a salad. But
we used to be folks who could provide for ourselves entirely for a majority of the year. We would eat only out of our garden, and the meat that we consumed was all meat that we raised ourselves.
Yeah.
And we've gotten away from that just because we're starting from scratch.
And our starch was a potato. Like I would usually make some form of potato because we would just grow so many potatoes, like Yukon Golds and Reds. And then I would do a chicken or a rabbit from our yard, and then we would do a big salad with like 8 different kinds of things in it, and we'd saute up kale almost every single night and arugula and all this stuff. And we just don't eat like that anymore because we don't have. And I think if we were to try to buy all that stuff from the store, I can't even imagine. So we would just have we had 2 fridges and they were just absolutely stuffed, plus our garden. And we grew stuff year round. We had winter greens and everything in Washington. So we were eating salad and, kale and arugula and cabbage and potatoes and carrots in February.
Yep.
So brushing the snow off the carrots and pulling them out of the ground.
Again, I think it's weird because a lot of folks obviously joined our channel once we came out to Idaho, so they don't necessarily know all that about us. We are avid gardeners. We miss it tremendously. Yeah. In fact, I told Paula, like, I really appreciate all her Facebook posts. And I saw she was growing peanuts. She had a video on all the peanuts that she grew and all that. So we will get back into that next year, but I think there's a lot of folks that don't realize that about us necessarily.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we did a lot of growing food and all that. So it's different now, but I have always liked snacks. So I snack a lot more now because we are working and we don't necessarily stop to eat all the time. Like we'll just be like, grab a granola bar, grab whatever. And so I've always got some kind of a snack in the belt, but it's kind of just become a fun thing too. I'm like, what am I going to put and my kids always want to know what's in the snack belt because they're usually eating most of it. So, and they don't get a lot of sugar or candy or anything. So they know if I have like a bag of Skittles or something, they can probably bum like 3 or 4 Skittles and they get excited.
S. Stevens, channel member, do we have a DVD player? Yes, we do. Yeah, we got one right here built into the trailer.
To our nice trailer.
Joseph Boots is also a channel member saying, do you guys have plans to plant any more trees throughout your property? Yeah, we do. We'll probably have, so we have an entire area devoted to a future orchard. So a number of fruit trees will be planted in there. And we'll probably just get some decorative deciduous trees. Once the house is done, we can start doing a little bit of landscaping, but we have to be mindful of deer and elk and all that. But yeah, we will be planting a number of trees. We're not going to reestablish any forests or anything like that.
No. But yeah, we're definitely going to be putting in lots of fruit trees, lots of berry bushes. And hopefully we can get those in starting soon.
Greg Coy, who's also a channel member, saying, "Have you had the bear back yet?" No, not here on the property, but I did see my first bear when I was driving into town. I had a black bear cross the road, literally right in front of me, probably a couple hundred yards up ahead of me as I was driving. So that's the first bear that I've visually seen with my own eyes out here. So they are still around. But no, we haven't had any other bear sightings on our property. And our hay has all been cut now, so we have a clear view all the way across the pasture. At least we can't see what's going on down in the draws, but
we did find some pretty big bear scat in our driveway the day of that windstorm.
Yeah, we find stuff like that all the time, so we know they're around. We just we don't, I don't know, they make themselves scarce if they hear us, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think they really like to be around people either. So yeah.
Let's see.
What kind of animals do you have on site? Do you mean wild animals or like our farm animals? As far as farm animals go, we have, our cool dog Kenji, Mr. Wrinkles, and then we have our barn kitty, and we have our baby doll sheep, our smiling sheep, and meat rabbits.
And we're gonna get our chickens back hopefully soon, so we can get back into some eggs eventually here.
Some laying hens.
We miss our chickens.
We do. And we definitely miss our compost. And with starting the garden and everything, we'd like to get that up and going.
Wildwood Off-Grid Alaska with a $9.99 super chat saying, "Love what you guys are doing and how you keep it real. Respect for your police work, brother." Thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank
appreciate the super chat as well. And thank you for the positive remark regarding police work. Not a lot of that happening nowadays, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, and then I saw another question on if we plan on having a greenhouse or not.
Yes.
That is definitely a project that I think that through the winter, we're actually going to start working on our garden, which sounds kind of weird, but we have garden beds to do. We have garden fencing to finish, and we have a greenhouse to put up. So luckily we have the pole barn, and it'll be cold, but we can work inside and get a lot of the garden stuff ready and get our seeds started and everything indoors, so that come spring, we're hitting the road running on the garden. We've got to get back into growing our own food, so we're not eating granola bars.
Do we see a lot of bees? Oh, far too many.
Oh, the hornet.
I got stung on my hand earlier this week, and it hurt.
You look like, what's that movie with the guy the professor?
Oh, Nutty Professor.
The Nutty Professor. Like his hand was like.
My whole arm blew. I got stung right on my wrist. My hand was blown up. My entire forearm was tight for like 2 days.
Yeah.
I mean, unrecognizable. It was crazy.
Yep.
We got a $5 super chat from Aaron Pidcock.
Oh, thank you.
With no remark or comment. Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you. Appreciate that. You guys don't have to send super chats. We super appreciate it. It means a lot to us, but no
pressure. No pressure.
Or anything like that.
Just an opportunity for us to interact with you guys and vice versa. So,
there is a channel called the Cellar Homestead. They had an orchard company sponsor them and send loads of trees.
Really?
That's cool.
Gotta look into that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, they're a really trees are not cheap. Family.
Yeah, we follow the Hollers.
Yeah.
They're doing something very similar to us.
They have a lot in common with
They're on the East Coast, but yeah, we've been following them for quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was asking about whether or not we're going to get goats or cows.
I don't.
We're probably not going to do cows. Our neighbor, we have a lot of folks in the area that raise cattle.
Yeah.
In fact, we have some steaks and some ground beef and stuff that we just got from a neighbor. But so we probably won't do that. Goats are something we've discussed before, though, and it's something I think we'll probably do just for brush clearing.
Yeah, I really want to like goat milk and make it worth it, but I just really don't like it. I tried it. I've tried Nubian milk. I've tried like all the different kinds where they're like, no, this one isn't goaty at all. And then I try it and I'm like, goaty.
Like everyone down south in Oklahoma, their whole.
Okay, when I saw the blind taste test, they very clearly favored the lamb. So I think that if I were to raise something for me...
the goat looked good, though.
I am a Greek. We eat sheep. Yaya says.
No goats.
I won't even say what she says about goats. So, yeah, Greeks eat lamb. We eat souvlaki, we eat the gyros,
There is Kevin and Rachel from Hidden Heights Farm with a $5 super chat saying, "Sorry I'm late. Had a silly goat stuck in the fence." Speaking of, see?
Okay, so
there you go.
I will say this, Kevin, over at Hidden Heights Farm with your goats. I got a bottle baby doll lamb, and he told me, don't get the baby doll lamb. That is a bottle baby. You might as well just name it Nuisance. Was he not right?
Oh, totally. Yeah, she's been getting out of our fencing repeatedly,
electric
nonstop.
Fencing that we have now doubled the power of. This is goat fencing. Sheep are not supposed to get out of it. Sheep are supposed to stay in. If you tie a string, they don't challenge the fence. Well, Phyllis goes underneath. She doesn't even care if she's being shocked. She's like, kamikaze, it's worth it. And she goes under there. No. And then she prances, like, did you up the driveway, and you're chasing her. She's like, meh, and she won't stay out of the barn. So we can't even open it. She's a free range lamb at this point. And
no, she comes into the pole barn.
Into the pole barn, and you're like shoving her out. She's like, meh. And she stands outside the trailer and yells for us. Because the kids were feeding her bread or
it's ridiculous.
So she doesn't know her place.
Goat. She doesn't. Problem. She thinks she belongs here with us. She's like, why do you keep sticking me out here with these sheep?
I know. So she doesn't interact with the flock. If we do let them all out, just a free range, the 4 are together, and then Phyllis is over here all by herself. She has no interest in being a lamb. She has no idea.
She's very sweet, though. I will give her that.
And she clops. Like,
she's very affectionate and nice.
Too affectionate. She follows the car. She's underfoot. I don't know what to do with her. Like, okay. I can't keep her in.
Out of the Box Homestead with a $10 super chat saying, back up at Mayo, post-COVID, learning how to walk again, praying I'll get out of this wheelchair ASAP.
Oh, how are you feeling? Yeah, I know that you were dealing with that for a really long time. Golly.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Prayers sent your way. Hope you make a full recovery.
You can do it. I know you can.
That's tough. You hear things like that.
Yeah,
crazy.
That is. Yeah, Auntie Ann said she thinks she's your dog. You're absolutely right. She was raised with a dog.
That's totally how she acts.
Yeah, she was bottle fed in a home with a diaper on and a big dog, and she slept with the dog. So she runs to our dog, and our dog's just like, whatever. He's so chill. But so Kenji and Phyllis have been running around together, but she, no interest in being a lamb. So I literally don't know it. She's going to end up getting, falling prey to a predator because she won't stay in her protective fencing.
All right, Tammy B with a $25 super chat.
Oh, thank you, Tammy.
Saying stack belt fun.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you, Tammy.
Maybe I should buy something healthy. People have been getting after me for not eating healthy things.
Yeah, let's make the switch, huh? Let's make the transition.
What should we eat? Should we eat like jerky? I like jerky.
Yeah, jerky's good for you.
We could buy organic jerky, but we don't. We buy like the teriyaki, the Hawaiian, Korean barbecue
with
jerky.
a horrible marinade.
Oh man, it's good.
So good.
Oh. Hey, someone said Opa. De Souza, cousin. Yep.
Portuguese. Come on. Portuguese.
No, Opa, Greek.
Oh, she's Portuguese, I'm saying.
How do you know?
Souza.
My last name's Souza, and I'm Greek. Oh.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Maybe she's just married to a Portuguese.
What are we going to do this winter with the shelter for our animals from Northern Living? We're going to build them shelters.
Yes.
In fact, we were just talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
We still have a little bit of time, and we'll take care of them. We'll take good care of our animals. We do.
Yes.
I know their shelter blew up in the windstorm, but that was unexpected.
Yeah. So, but we weren't expecting that.
Yeah. So we'll get them squared away and tucked away, and we already know where we're going to stick them and everything.
Yep. They've got their winter plot, so we need to move their fencing over there, and then we're kind of going between having a mobile shelter or just building them a winter shelter where they're always there in the winter and that's their winter housing, and then just have mobile summer housing for them because they don't really like to be in their housing unless it's super hot. But other than that, they just like to be out in the field.
All right, Just Cook with Dustin with a $4.99 super chat saying our house goes up for sale in a week. Ready to find our homestead. Let the adventure begin.
Yay, where are you guys looking?
Congratulations. Good for you. That's a tough decision to make.
It is. That's a very, very scary and exciting time right before you list your house, wondering what's going to happen. There's so many unknowns at that chapter. I remember that feeling very well.
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking for sure.
Yeah, you just don't know what's going to happen. Like, what happens as soon as our house goes live?
Let's see, we also have Beverly Phillips. Welcome to second level member support.
Thank you for joining our membership.
Welcome, Beverly.
Appreciate that.
Kim Kosiba is saying, I think it's amazing that you share your faith. Wishing you many blessings. And my husband and I look forward to watching. Thanks so much. And appreciate the positive sentiment there with the sharing of our faith. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
How did we meet? We get asked this every live. How did we meet?
Oh,
short version.
Today is the anniversary of our first date. I didn't know that until I was trying to get some decorations out for our tiny home, just bring some of our home stuff back into our lives.
I saw that you moved it. Well, no, we're not in a tiny home necessarily.
I'm getting decorations out for it.
Hypothetically, if we were staying in the tiny home now, Melissa was decorating.
Hypothetically.
Where we were staying.
Maybe. I was thinking about decorating the tiny home that we may or may not be staying in. And so I came across an old movie stub, and it was September 23rd of 2005. 4, which was the date of our very first date, we went to a terrible movie called Wimbledon. It was awful. And it didn't really matter because, yeah, I don't know. Pretty cool. So we met at the gym that neither of us go to anymore. Jeremy was a specimen.
No, okay, we've discussed this many times now at this point.
Anyway,
you can catch it on the old lives.
Yeah,
we've gone over it a few times.
We were 21, and Jeremy walked in, and he was really attractive, so I gave him my phone number.
We started dating. We moved to Vegas. We got married. We started having kids. The rest is history. That's the short version.
We met at the gym. I don't know.
All right, 9 to 5 to life off-grid with a $4.99 super chat saying, Jeremy, are you ready for deer season?
Are you?
I've got the itch, buck fever.
Are you itching?
I want to say I'm ready, but I'm probably not. I've got everything I need. My goal is still to at least get a deer this year. We'll see.
Elk.
Yeah, Melissa wants me to take out an elk. I'm new to hunting, as I'm new to many things out here. So the thought of taking out an elk is just a little intimidating to me, just because I don't know why. I got like this mental hurdle. It's
but
a bigger
you're fine
animal.
with taking out a deer.
I've got a deer I can see is just taking it out and
yeah, but then
bringing
you
it.
gotta eat deer.
Melissa doesn't really like deer. She doesn't like venison. She
I
doesn't
like
deer
elk.
Meat. Yeah, we both love elk. So
elk
yeah,
is good.
we'll see where it goes, Chad. We'll see. But that is my hope. Yeah, I have everything I need.
We have a lot of turkeys around here too, so we're hoping to get some turkey. And
yeah, we'll do some bird hunting as well.
Yeah, that's fun.
James Whitty with a $5 super chat saying,
thanks, James.
Put winter shelter on LEA side of the barnuminium. LEA. I'm not sure what he means by that. We have a spot picked out though.
Yeah, so we have to pretty much go off the back because we have, shed roofing this way. So if we put any animals off either of those, the snow's going to fall on them and bury them. So if we go off the back, that's kind of our plan. And it's a little bit of a windbreak, and then we can put their shelter there and we can have them fenced off. And when we're in our living space, the windows look straight out there. So, I mean, if there were any predator issues or anything like that, we could hear them and put up, motion lights and things like that.
Okay, so. Cousin Marcia is Brazilian. No wonder. Okay. Oh. That explains the de Souza. See, so not Greek. Brazilian, Portuguese. Portuguese, same thing.
You don't know.
Same thing.
Maybe she likes Greek food.
Auntie Anne, who's a channel member and moderator. Thank you, Auntie Anne and Paula and Kevin and Rachel for moderating. We
Thank you guys. Appreciate our moderators.
She's saying that's funny that you don't like, or that you like elk and not deer.
I find deer to be just a little bit more deery. It's gamey. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it again. I tried to cook it a lot of different ways, and then they're like, well, if you soak it in tomato juice and all this stuff, but it's like, if you have to do that much work to make the meat edible, I don't know.
She'll come around. Just gotta get used to it.
If I had a freezer full of it, I'd get creative, and I think I'd try to figure out how to like it. So.
All right. Remembering Bubbles is asking, how do you like not having a shift to work? How's the adjustment? The adjustment's been fine. And no, I do not miss shift work. I worked swing shift for the majority of my career in law enforcement. Mm-hmm. I worked graveyard for a while. Horrible hours. Don't miss it one bit, honestly. The shift part of it. For the latter portion of my career, I worked essentially day shift, which was really nice.
Yeah, that was.
But yeah, I worked security for a portion of time when I was really young, at a casino hotel in Vegas when we lived down in Vegas, and I worked graveyard doing that. It was 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. every day, 5 days a week. And then graveyard shift with my police department was 8 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. long shifts. And yeah, I hated doing it. I hated it. I was an awful person in the daytime because of it.
You weren't an awful person. You were just
I was just extremely
grumpy,
tired.
awful person.
I looked like a zombie constantly. I hated it.
Yeah, it was hard. I think it was really hard because he never got good sleep ever, because when he started working swing shift, we already had young kids. And we had young kids when he started, 1-year-old. And then by the time she was 3 and knew to be quiet while daddy's sleeping, we had another baby, and then we had another baby and another baby.
You never get caught up, ever.
Yeah.
You're just constantly tired. You never get caught up on sleep. It's a really hard thing to sleep in the daytime. And then, like she said, with young kids, it was tough.
Yeah.
Starting to buffer and lag more, yeah.
Are other people saying that too? Are we back?
Are we back?
Buffering.
We're back.
Buffering.
Sorry, guys. Don't know what happened.
Are we back? Just got on and we lost him. Oh, hi, Wayne. Can you see us?
Anyway, sorry about that. What I was saying was just, shift work is not fun.
Okay. You know what? What's happening is you were talking too long and the internet was like,
Sorry. Should have known.
Yeah. So okay.
Should have
So Wayne
known.
Watson has joined us. Thank you for joining us, Wayne. Nice
Hi, Wayne.
to see you. Someone asked if we have any regrets.
None.
No, I don't think so. A lot of people say like, "Oh, I regret not doing it sooner," or something like that when they make a life decision. I definitely don't regret doing it sooner. I think we planned and saved, and it was
prepared.
very calculated.
We're not people who live our lives with regrets.
Yeah.
So, even if things had not gone well, still wouldn't have regretted it.
We might have. No, no, I don't think so. I think we would say, well, at least we tried.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's all just on your your outlook on things.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we're back, man. I was starting to freak out there for a bit.
I know.
But we are at an hour and 10 minutes. We never like to go over 90 minutes. So I know we still got 19 minutes.
So we've got about 19 minutes more with you guys. So let's answer your questions. We'll stop talking about us. That's not why we're here. What are the questions that you folks have for us? Because I know it's hard. We don't always get to answer your questions in video comments and things like that. It's so
fire away
with them. Welcome to second level member support. Marsha M. Oh, hi, Marsha.
Hi there. What is your biggest regret? I think was the question. If we're talking about the same comment.
What is our biggest regret?
From Justin Jarmus.
Man.
Again, we're not folks that really live a life of
I don't know.
With having regrets. But
yeah, I would hope that people don't, don't look backward. You're not going that way, kind of thing. It gets you to where you are. I mean, you could look back on like moments in life that maybe you regret or you would do differently, but.
What would you regret? You have a moment that comes to mind? I mean, I'm thinking. I don't really have any.
I have like moment or things that. Yeah, I mean, I have some things mostly revolving around like the loss of friends or something where, you regret saying something or you regret leaving something left unsaid, stuff like that. Not spending enough time with grandparents that aren't around now, stuff like that, but nothing like, I think anybody has those kind of moments where you think like, oh, I wish I had done that differently, but.
Yeah, nothing really comes to mind for me, honestly. That's not to say like I haven't had bad moments with personal interactions and stuff like that, but I don't necessarily regret it, even though, it may not have gone well or smoothly. I feel like it's gotten me to where I am currently, so I don't necessarily regret it.
Yeah.
In that sense. It's kind of hard. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. You just learn from any negative in your life and go forward and try not to repeat the same mistakes if you've, done someone wrong, trying to make sure you go back and fix that and while you can, and I don't know. Yeah. What will you be planting in your garden? Everything. We grow pretty much everything. We try to only grow what we like. We learned that the first year I was trying to grow all kinds of creative things, and then a bunch of stuff went to waste or went to the chickens because we were like, oh, we don't actually like this. So, and then stuff we can is really important. Like I like to can hundreds of jars of stuff. And so I try to grow things that can be canned or frozen and preserved for winter eating so that we're not just eating out of the yard during garden season, but year round. And then lots of greens. We love greens.
Yeah, a lot of greens.
Salads.
Nothing too crazy or exotic. Yeah. Just
Or vegetables that store, like beets and carrots and potatoes.
Yeah, a lot of root vegetables.
Yeah. Yeah, we try to grow our food with like a survivalist mindset where if there's no grocery stores up until growing season, do we have enough food? And so this year the answer is no.
How about all the folks that have been sending you photos of their glass gem corn that's been coming in?
Yeah, so a lot of people. I think we have like 670
so many seeds.
Orders of seeds, and now all of a sudden these pictures are rolling in from people growing corn. So I wasn't able to grow the corn this year. Paula grew corn for me and has been taking weekly photos like, this is your corn, and it's been so cool. And now the corn is ready and it's harvested, and it's just really neat because I wasn't able to do that. So to see your guys' glass gem corn coming in and see those pictures, I don't know, it's really cool. It was just, I love seeing it. So if you guys grew our corn and you have pictures or you did your harvest, the number one question I'm getting, or the number one comment I'm getting is, well, my corn's not very big, but it's pretty. Glass gem corn is a miniature corn. So if your corn cobs are like this, that's right. That's perfect. That's what it's supposed to look like. It's
Melissa's tiny hands that make them look normal size.
It's my little body. It's a miniature corn, and so if you're like I know there was just several other channels that grew it that said, well, ours aren't very big, but that's what it's supposed to look like. It's actually small.
Here's a good question that came in. Oh, where'd it go?
Jeremy is 6'2". That's right. And
6'9".
Oh, so Jeremy is 6'9".
6'9". Let's get it straight.
I'm.
I lost the question, but it was a good one that came in. Do we regret or would we change the order in which we have done things here on the new homestead as far as projects and getting things done?
I would have liked to figure out. I think one thing I maybe would have addressed would be the consistent way of getting water running here without you hauling. I know you don't mind it, but at the same time, like I always just to take shower the kids have to be, is there water? And sometimes you're like, oh no, hold on, it'll be 45 minutes, and then he's literally hauling
it's not
water.
45 minutes.
Well, but you're hauling water at nighttime, and I feel bad. So I would like to have had like a hose or something running, or some kind of a cistern, or some way of having constant water flow. We didn't know it was going to be 6 months. We just kept saying, well, maybe next month we'll have water. But now we literally are to the point that we are getting it figured out.
Yeah, I wouldn't change any, again, to go back to not living with any kind of regrets or anything. It is what it is. When you're starting from scratch, I mean, we basically moved here and it was a field, a foundation, and a pole barn. Like, I mean, we had so much to do.
Yeah, everything.
And a very, you know, we didn't have a ton of time and we don't have a ton of experience with doing any of these things, like I said before. So I don't regret any of it. It is what it is. We are comfortable with where we're at. There's never been a moment in time where I've been like, oh, this is horrible. Why did we do this? I wish we had this, or I wish we had this, or I wish we had done this. That's never happened. So I'm good with it.
Okay.
Is it
perfect?
If
you're good with,
no.
See, I guess my only thing it would just be for your own comfort because you're the one hauling the water. So.
But I haven't minded that at all.
Yeah.
As a, I don't know. We came out here. We need water. I am the father in the family. I'm the provider. We need water. I'm gonna go haul water. It's not that big a deal. It usually takes me like 20 or 25 minutes to go out there, fill up the totes, bring the totes in, top off the tank, and then we're good. Usually for like a day and a half.
Hi, Chad.
So.
So okay. Someone asked if you're gonna GoPro your hunt.
I don't have a GoPro. Think back. I do have a GoPro. I have a GoPro 3.
It was like 10 years ago I bought that thing for
which takes horrible footage at this point, and I haven't run an update on it in probably 2 years. So I don't even know if it's still functioning properly.
Yeah.
A very common question that we get is regarding YouTube and how we make our videos is like, hey, I'm looking to start YouTube. How do I do this? What equipment should I get? What camera should I buy? What kind of camera or a computer should I get for editing? What program should I use for editing? We're a very low budget operation here. How do we do things?
So we use my cell phone. I have a Samsung. It's okay. And I broke the power button. So I'm basically filming on a broken cell phone. We have one camera. So a lot of times I'm like, we have to stop. We have to take a lunch break. My camera's dead. I need to. So we don't even have a camera. It's just a cell phone. That's what we film everything on, except for when Jeremy uses his drone, which he's really good at. But he bought the bottom of the line drone.
The cheapest, the cheapest DJI drone, which is a good drone, but it's I bought the mini, Mavic Mini, which is really very affordable.
Yeah, really great starter drone. So we don't have any fancy cameras. We do not have any microphones. I know sometimes our sound can be wonky, or if we're outside, you can hear the wind. It's because
we've tried.
We tried getting some different Rode mics and another brand mic, but when we hook it into the cell phone, we just get really constant feedback. So we're a very low budget operation. I have a little metal square that I stick my cell phone into, and we just go from there. We use a very cheap editing software called Filmora. It's $30 a year. It's not fancy. It's a starter software. We get royalty-free music off the internet, and I don't know.
I think people either think we're lying when we tell them that.
Why?
Or they think we're crazy.
I think they just think we're cheap.
Which we are.
We are.
But we have a whole house to build.
We have a house to build. My dryer broke this week. Why is everything breaking? So my dryer broke. The heat coil turns on, but it doesn't spin anymore. So I've been...
Bessie is still up and running.
Bessie is still running the washer, but her lever, the door sensor is broken, so I have to push the sensor up and then like slam the door before the sensor falls down, and then the washer thinks it's fine and will go.
You have to bump the corner to
Yeah.
set the sensor
So
off.
then once I get the door shut, I have to bang on the corner where the where the door.
It's like Fonzie with the jukebox back in the day.
Anyway,
You have to know all the tricks.
I'm getting a new washer and dryer tomorrow. I found it on the Facebook Marketplace.
We're buying a used washer and dryer.
It was
again.
2004 washer dryer. They claim it works, and it's $100.
We went to go look at one yesterday, and there was no way I was going to buy that thing.
I'm stupid. I probably would have bought it. It was really scratched up. She wanted $100 for it.
There was no plug on it, which is fine, but we couldn't test it. Was my biggest thing.
It didn't have a plug, which is fine. We could have wired our own, but we didn't know if it was going to work, and so we opted to wait. And then luckily we found a whole set, and the cool thing is it's identical to the one that I have. That we beat up during our move. So old Bessie has a twin. So
it's not exactly the same.
It'll be newer Bessie, and old Bessie screwed together and held together on a dolly with a furniture strap. Otherwise, her whole casing falls off during the spin cycle.
Mark Atkinson. It's got a Fonzie corner right on it. Does.
It does.
Literally on when you're looking at it, the front left corner, you have to push on it.
You have to.
Yeah. I usually use my fist. I just bump it real quick and then it turns on. It's funny.
I love it. I think it's so fun. But so we have we have a house to build. The whole thing is debt free. I don't care about having a fancy washer or dryer. I only care that my clothes get dry.
A couple people are saying dryer belt. We have no idea what it is. But if that's, I'll look into that.
Okay.
If it's repairable, maybe I'll just fix it. Or we'll buy the new one.
Or just buy the one that looks just like it for $100.
So okay, here's the thing. It hasn't been working great for a long time now, and it's finally gone kaput.
Yeah, we have to run it about 2 or 3 times to get it to actually dry. So I don't think the heating coil actually does work very well. We bought it used. We bought the set used when we moved into our old house, so about 8 years ago, 9 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's about 20 years old, so it's kind of on the fringe. And then when we moved it, we sort of dropped it. And, the washer we dropped twice. And so anyway, it's time for a new one. So tomorrow we're picking up a new old washer and dryer. But it's just kind of the way that we have to do things right now. And I think that it's fine. It doesn't make me any happier of a person to have a new one.
Okay, here's a good question from Fernando Johnson. You guys are obviously close. What would you say was your refiner's fire, I think, so to speak? The challenge or thing that brought you closer than anything else? That's a great question.
It's a great question. I like that.
I don't think there's any one thing. I'd say there's a number of things. And Melissa and I have always kind of tackled life together with whatever adversity is that may have come our way. With anything, whether it was financial challenges or just, we really got things started as far as like starting a family and doing all that we were young. And just a series of things. It's just, knowing that we have each other's back. I know I never for a second will ever doubt that no matter what, regardless of what's going on, Melissa will always have my back.
Yes.
And I'm the same way. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
Literally no matter what. There's been medical things that popped up, like with like Nevaeh when she was a baby, and we've always been there for one another. Mm-hmm. Even in times where other folks, even family members, maybe were not always super supportive. We're always there for each other. We always support and encourage one another. And Melissa makes me a better person, which I think is how any marriage should work. I've said it before. She pushes me to do things that I would never have the courage to do myself.
Aww, Daddy, are you kidding him?
No. So just stuff like that. There's been a number of things over time that have just reaffirmed that yeah, she's my person, and hopefully I do the same thing for her.
My person too,
yes.
Daddy. Yeah.
Anyway,
he keeps me balanced. I keep him a little wild, so it works out very well. And it's not that Jeremy's not wild, because he's a goofy dude too, but I'm a risk taker. I think more so
than me. Yes.
Like I'm more like, yeah, let's do that, and not in like I don't like do risks. Like I don't want to go bungee jumping or anything like that. I like to keep my feet on the ground, but I like to take a life risk. I like to move around and do things like that. And he's very. I mean, he is like you're very very practical, but you feel a very big burden of responsibility to make sure that everybody is taken care of.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I'm kind of big on roles, and people don't always agree with me on that, but like roles within the family, and I feel like it's kind of my responsibility as a father to make sure that everybody's taken care of and has what they need. So,
and I feel like he puts too much pressure on himself to make sure that like I'm happy and everything. It's like I'm a big girl. I can
don't
do
see
that.
that as being a bad thing. I think it's
No,
a good thing.
it's not a bad thing.
I think folks should be. I'm not saying folks should be like me, but I think it's a good thing for men to stand up and take care of their families.
Yes.
It's how it should be, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's teaching our boys right too, and I pity the man that our daughters marry because they are going to have big shoes to fill.
I pity them
But they're
too
going to
because
have
they don't
big
know what's
shoes to
coming.
fill because they're going to compare every man to their dad, and that's going to be a challenge for these guys. So hopefully there's some mamas out there raising their boys right.
It's going to be a challenge. We'll make sure it's a challenge.
Yep.
Let's see.
All right.
We have a timeline regarding work. I saw somebody else earlier was also asking about when we're going to start working on the main house.
So we need to get comfortable first. We need to get the animals squared away. We need to get our garden stuff kind of squared away. We're going to spend the winter doing that. Pretty much what we said is as soon as the snow melts, we're going to start building that floor.
Not even necessarily when the snow melts. I think just knowing that the days are getting longer. Yeah. I'm thinking.
Yeah, maybe even before.
I don't even want to put it out there because I don't want to set myself or anyone else up for disappointment. But obviously winter makes things tough out here. We have real winters out here.
Yeah, it's cold.
If the weather lends itself to us being out there and being productive, we'll get to work earlier.
If there's 6 inches of snow on the ground, we can start building a floor. It's fine. I'm gonna need some of those Amazon heated socks. They're battery powered, and they heat your feet. They make heated hats and gloves. So I'm gonna go on there like for Christmas. I'm just telling my mom like heated socks, and then as long as my feet and hands are warm, I think I can do it. Yeah,
I think I'm gonna buy the Milwaukee brand. I just saw they're coming out with like a clothing line where they have jackets where the M18 or the M12 batteries plug into the jacket and it's a heated jacket. So I'm thinking about buying that. It's pricey, but I think I'm gonna get it.
Do they make them for women?
It's gonna be worthwhile. I'm sure they have smaller sizes.
I'll just wear a large, I can not even care. I'm just gonna look like a snowman out there. But we're just
looking forward to winter at this point. We try not to set deadlines for ourselves.
Yeah.
Because it like I said, it becomes a disappointment if you don't reach those benchmarks. And so our mentality has always kind of been just head down, work, make baby steps of progress, and then you can step back and be like, hey, look what we did. And that's kind of how things have gone. Yeah. We're not fast with getting things done, but it's because we're new and we're inexperienced, but we're trying to document everything for YouTube, so it slows us down a little bit. But
it
we
does.
get it done.
It slows us down a little bit with filming and things like that. So it really does take stuff takes twice as long sometimes when you're filming it and you have to stop and charge cameras and things like that. But it's cool. Did you say 6? Oh, I missed William Watson's comment.
Here, Wayne's comment. Sorry guys, it becomes a fuss when I start rambling on.
All right. Does anybody have any last minute questions?
Hey, Roger Sasaki.
Hi, Roger. Nice to see you.
You definitely see the connect. Oh, thank you, guys. Thanks, guys.
You should post a P.O. box for gifting. Oh, we have a P.O. box on all of our videos. Is our P.O. box under those? So we get lovely letters from you guys, which we appreciate so much. We love getting letters.
We get a lot of handwritten letters, which is cool.
It's awesome. It is so fun, and like our whole family reads them, and then we get some really cool snacks from my belt, which when a box of snacks comes, the kids are so excited. They think that's the best mail in the whole world.
And then we've had Roger that sent us the little carriers for
and I use those every time we do sheeting now. That's been really helpful.
Yeah, so we greatly appreciate it. And again, like with everything else, there's never any pressure. We have zero expectations when it comes to any of this. But we do greatly appreciate when we get either letters or anything in the mail. So it's cool.
It's fun to get mail that isn't a bill. So if we get a letter just saying, hey, we enjoy you guys or something like that, or that people will share their stories with us, it's really cool.
All right, winding down here, we got a $10 super chat from Jaganok saying #1 fan, little emoji thingy. Thank you for that. Somebody else is crediting us with being mindful of our budget and buying used things repeatedly, which is kind of what we do to a fault sometimes.
To a fault, yeah. We were actually talking about like why I was sick today. Like, why is everything breaking? And he's like, because we buy junk. So we buy junk and then we keep it for 10 years, and then everything seems to fail at the same time, and then we replace it with more junk, like we're doing tomorrow with our washer dryer. Because you should probably pay more than $100 for a washer and dryer and expect it to be reliable, but we'll see.
Gabriel, you are welcome. Thank you. How did the tool work, Melissa? Asking from Paulo Bells. Oh yeah, how did the tool work?
Oh, good. I did all of the caulking and it worked really well for filling the nail holes.
Oh yeah, thank you,
significantly
Paula.
better.
Yes, yeah.
It made, like, I did the shiplap wall with this. Paula Well sent me this little tool where I can put my putty in and then it just, and it makes it all clean like a little squeegee. The shiplap wall is perfect. Do you see any nail holes on it?
No.
It's so
not at
much
all.
better than what the living room looks like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was much nicer.
Yeah, thank you.
Gabriel Valencia, grocery store. We have a number of grocery stores in town. It's not a big deal. We just go in there and shop.
Yeah, there's 3 grocery stores in town. I mean, it's a drive into town, but.
Bunny videos from Jen Seeley, another channel member.
Well, I don't know what else to cover with rabbits. I feel like we did the meat rabbit
Yeah, it's
series,
hard to come up with new content.
I mean, we've got new rabbits and things like that. So we try to share that stuff on Facebook a lot, and I don't know. We try to include them a little bit in the videos, but as far as like just rabbit videos go, I don't know.
Remembering Bubbles with a $5 super chat saying, thanks for answering so many questions. You have been a great example for what real people can do. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
That's a
it.
very
Yeah.
kind comment.
That's kind of our goal. Our goal in all of this is just to hopefully inspire people that it doesn't need to be pretty and it doesn't need to be graceful, and everyone's dream is different. But like, if you just buckle down and you have a goal, like have a goal, not a dream, right? Dreams are for sleeping. Goals are for, you got to take steps towards goals. You can do whatever you want to do, whether it's starting. It doesn't need to be moving off in the middle of nowhere and not, I don't know. It doesn't have to be this. It can be maybe you want to start a business, or maybe you just want to get out of debt, or whatever your goal is. Like, just start making strides
work toward it. Yes.
Yeah, work towards it, and you can achieve it.
Yep. All right, we are over the 90-minute mark. We're gonna I'm gonna knock out these last few questions. Yes, we would like to build a root cellar. We do not have a Lowe's near us. We are not. I don't think we're in need of any seeds for the garden. Correct? Do we have any t-shirts for sale? We have a Teespring site. Yeah, you can check that out.
Yeah, we have sweatshirts and t-shirts. Again, if you go to our channel, under all of our videos is our Teespring thing, and you can just click on that and it takes you to our.
We are not planning to have any more kids. We got a new first level member, Katie Broughton. Thank you for that.
Katie, thank you for joining
us. We're gonna call it at that. We're over our 90 minutes. So thank you guys so much. We had a lot of fun with this, as always.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you being here, spending your Wednesday with us.
Yeah, a lot of fun. And I saw we had a number of folks on there. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. So we got almost 1,000 of those.
Thank you guys.
40 of those.
Hit that thumbs up on your way out. That, for some reason, I don't know that.
Yeah, it's supposed to help. Anyway, we greatly appreciate you. Seriously, each and every one of you, we greatly appreciate it. We always appreciate you watching and leaving us all these kind, encouraging comments. Yes. So thank you for that. And we will hopefully have a new video out for you tomorrow is what we're hoping.
Yeah, so stay tuned tomorrow. We should have the video out. Good night. God bless you. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.